the Chavetz Chaim Heritage Foundation put a lot of work into designating it as an awareness with something we talk about in Halacha Shir all the time, the fact that today there's mass speaking Lashon Hara, because with all these chat groups and texting and Facebook and Instagrams and different things, that what happened was people don't even realize that they're being over Issa Lashon Hara, and this we talk about all the time, sending little things that could be cute, but it could be mamash Issa of Lashon Hara. And I want to discuss today why there's been this major explosion in being able to be over the Issa of Lashon Hara at this point, and understanding why all of a sudden now. Now, there's a famous story with Chavetz Chaim, which I'm sure most people have heard at one point. He was Purim, and the room was full of people, and there was a Bachar in Yeshiva there learning by the Chavetz Chaim who was drunk, and he pushed his way up to the Chavetz Chaim, and he was requesting that the Chavetz Chaim promises him that he's going to be in his mechitzas in Olam Haba. And first Chavetz Chaim in his Anivas told him who said he has Olam Haba. He doesn't really, how does he know he has Olam Haba? But this Bachar was being very persistent, and they wanted to take him away. And Chavetz Chaim said, no, let him. He means it, Aaron's, he means it for real. The Kitzah, this went on for a long time, and then when the Chavetz Chaim got up to leave to go to the Suda, so this Bachar parked himself in front of the head of the Chavetz Chaim. He said he's not moving till the Chavetz Chaim promises him he's going to be in his mechitzas in Olam Haba. So the Chavetz Chaim looked at him very seriously. He says, listen, I can't tell you if I have Olam Haba or not, but there's one thing I do that may have given me some Olam Haba, which is that Miyom Sha'amad Al Daiti, since the day he could understand, he never spoke or was makabel Lashon Hara. And he told his Bachar that if he is makabel from that day on, to never speak or be makabel Lashon Hara, he'll guarantee him to be in his mechitzas in Olam Haba. And the end of the story goes that this Bachar couldn't take it on, and Chavetz Chaim was said a little bit, said just take him away. Because he's standing at the gates that he could be promised by the Chavetz Chaim, which is what he's been asking for all afternoon, to be in his mechitzas, and he can't take this on. He said, take him away. Now I want to show us that be'etzem we face the same type of idea in our life also. Now, the beginning of the parasha begins when it talks about Mitzorah, Zois Tia Torahs HaMitzorah, and Chida points out simply what's the Lashon Torahs HaMitzorah. When the Mitzorah comes to be Mitzorah himself, he says Zois Tia Torahs HaMitzorah. So he wants to know what's the Lashon of Torahs HaMitzorah. This is what he does. This is the carbon he brings. Now, there's a pasuk we say all the time. We say it every Shabbos, that we all know. Mia Isha Chavetz Chaim Oyev Yom Liris Tov Mitzorah L'Shon Chameirah V'Sasecha Medaber Mirma Sur Meirah V'Asei Tov. And it's a very simple question that the Mefarshim asked. That if you think about it, the pasuk really, once you say Sur Meirah V'Asei Tov, stay away from bad and do good, you're including everything, including Nitzar L'Shon Chameirah. So why does the pasuk begin Nitzar L'Shon Chameirah and then Somer Rav Asatov? Just say Somer Rav Asatov and you include everything. Another question that we find, what's the reason Moshe Rabbeinu was not Zeicha to go into Eretz Yisrael? What's the reason Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't Zeicha to go into Eretz Yisrael? So if you look in the end of Parashat Shemos, Perek Vav, Pasuk Aleph, over there it talks about when Moshe says Lama Hariyosa Lama Zeh, and Rashi tells us over there after Sirah that you lost your right to go into Eretz Yisrael. Avraham Avinu never questioned me, and now you'll see what I'm going to do to Pari. You're not going to see what I'm going to do to the Shiva Umim because you lost your right to go into Eretz Yisrael. Yet in Parashas Chukas, in Bamidbar Chaf Yud over there it says that because of the Mei Meriva. So which is it? Is it the Mei Meriva or is it because he said Lama Hariyos Lama Hazeh? One more question is the famous medrash in this week's parsha, Medrash Rabbah, Tezayin Beis, that Zois Tia Teres HaMatzorah. There's Maisa Barach Al Echad. There was this peddler, and he was going around in Tzipori, and he was saying, "Man, boy, the son of the Chai who wants to buy a medicine to keep them alive." And Rabbi Yanai says he wants it, and he says, "No, it's not for you, and not for people like you." So he pushed him. Hoitziloi Sefer Tehillim. He takes out a Sefer Tehillim, and he shows him this pasuk: "Nia shechavetz chayim aviyam le'eretz tov nitzor l'shonchem meravas sur merava asei tov." He shows him the pasuk. Amar Rav Yanai, Shlomo HaMelech also was going around saying, "Shomer pivul l'shoyne shomer mitzaras nafshoy," and kol yomai hayisa kaira pasuk. I always read this pasuk. V'lo hayisa yadin heichen. Pshat, I never understood this pasuk. Ad Shabbat Rachel Zeh. Now I understand the pshat in the pasuk. Mir Shachavetz Chaim, and that's what the pasuk says. Zois Tia Torus Ametzora. Torus. It's Torus Moitzi Shem Ra. This is the Torah for somebody who was Moitzi Shem Ra. Now this medrash is very hard to understand. What exactly did he tell Rabbi Yanai? He showed him a pasuk. Rabbi Yanai didn't know. Now he didn't know. All of a sudden, now he came to a new Havana. What happened here? So I heard this pshat, and I think it's a unbelievable pshat, and it brings everything together. But it's a very scary thought, which we all heard. It's brought down in the Chovos Levavos and the Shara Knah Perek Zayin, that now first of all, the Chovos Levavos, I heard the Rambam used to have a copy of the Chovos Levavos on his table at all times. The Chassam Sofer used to learn every day before Shir the Chovos Levavos, and he said if he one day didn't learn it, he felt like his Yiddishkeit was cooling off. The Beis Yosef learned with a Malach, and he wrote a Sefer Magid Meisharim, and one of the parashas over there, the Malach tells him a message from the Eibusha that he should learn Chovos Levavos every day. So Chovos Levavos writes over there, The Chovos Levavos learns the Chovos Levavos says over there that if one speaks lashon hara, then what you're doing is the one you spoke about, you're giving him all your mitzvahs, and you're taking all his averos. And a person's going to come to Yom Adin, and he's going to see averos that he never touched, and they had never had shaykhs to. And they're going to explain to him it's because he spoke lashon hara on somebody, and because of that he took your mitzvahs and you took your averos, and you took his averos. Now this idea that Chassam Sofer says was a lot of Rishonim already said it. The Marpei Nefesh brings down that the Magid Meisharim himself told this idea to the Beis Yosef, which is this Malach, told the Beis Yosef, and the Chavetz Chaim in Shmir Salash, in the Sefer Shmir Salash, in Perek Zayin, says, in Sharas HaStara, it says over there, that this is really a Medrash, in Medrash Shachan Toiv, from on Tilim, that this idea that if a person speaks Lashon Hara, talks Lashon Hara about somebody, and he right then gave up all his mitzvahs, and he could come up to the next world. It says the miyat Torah that we have, the little bit that we have, we gave it all away, and instead we acquired all types of averos that we never ever did, and we have to deal with those averos now. One second, we're getting it.
I'm serious.
I'm answering you. So first of all, somebody said he asked this to Rabbi Avigdor Miller, and you see it in the Mefarshim on the Chovos Levavos. He says that it doesn't have to be one lashon hara to lose everything. It's mida keneged mida, depending on how much the lashon hara caused tsar. That's how much you're giving over from your mitzvahs and taking from his averis. But if somebody speaks lashon hara on a regular basis, for sure. And also, it's clearly in the Chovos Levavos and all over, they're talking about when you're saying a davar sheker, because it's Torah's moitzi shemra. It's when you're being moitzi shemra, and it works mida keneged mida. You're going and being moitzi shemra on the person. So memela, they're going to take things that don't belong to you, and give it to you. Now, and Memela, let's just answer what happened by Moshe Rabbeinu, and this is brought down that in the Shar Bas Rabim, that Moshe Rabbeinu Be'etzem lost his right to go into Eretz Yisrael by saying Lama Riyos Lama Zeh. He lost his right to go into Eretz Yisrael. But then afterwards, when it says that they spoke Lashon Hara on him and they were choshed him, that he was, they went and they said that he's being a Mazana with Eishes Ish. So because of that, he lost the Avera and he gained back the right to go into Eretz Yisrael. But then afterwards came in Parashat Chukas, he had by the Mei Meriva, he lost it again. But Be'etzem, the original reason that he wasn't going to come in was because of the Mei Meriva, but that he lost once he already did, once they spoke Lashon Hara on him. So the Marpe Lashon, Rafal Hamburg asked, what does it mean? A guy can't do tshuva? A guy can't fix this up? So he says a guy could do tshuvas. He says, but a guy's going to come ask you mechila. Tell him, sorry, buddy. I'm happy you spoke Lashon Hara about me. I'm very happy, and I'm sorry. I don't want to be meichel you. And what's in it for me to be meichel you? I want to keep status quo. You have my averis, I have your mitzvahs. Everything is good. So says the Marpe Lashon that kol ha'maval midosav mavir memenu kol pshav. That Chazal tells that if you're maver on your midas, you go against your nature, and then afterwards you gave away all your averis. So he says, when's a bigger time that a person's maval midas? If a person comes over to you, reviewed, you should know I spoke Lashon Hara about you. I embarrassed you in front of a lot of people, but I want you mechila. So if a person's maval midas, so he's going to have mechla kol pshav, but the guy gets the right back that he could do tshuva on his speaking Lashon Hara. Now, the Ben Ish Chai says, what about my mitzvahs? I don't want to give up all those mitzvahs, right? Because you're being meichelim, so you're giving him back his mitzvahs. Maybe the guy has, lots of mitzvahs that I want to keep. So he says, L'fum Tzara Agra, that the schar one's going to get for this mitzvah of being meichelim, and it's hard for him, so the payment for that is gonna make up for those mitzvahs. So now he wanted to say pshat. That pshat in what this Rachel Echad taught Rabbi Yanai. He told him, Rabbi Yanai, it's not for you and not for your people. Why? You don't speak Lashon Hara. You don't have to know. He was selling this yesod, that he was selling Miyar Ish Achavetz Chaim Orav Yom L'Roshev Nitzar L'Shon Chameira. So why do you have to first say Netzar L'Shon Chameira? Just say Sor Meira V'asei Tov, because you could do a bunch of mitzvahs, but if you're not makbid on Lashon Hara, you'll lose them all. In other words, in order to have the next world, you have to first be Nitzar L'Shon Chameira, because if a person isn't Nitzar L'Shon Chameira, you could be Sor Meira V'asei Tov, it won't help you. The first thing, the insurance policy, that a person is going to get the mitzvahs that he deserves, and the mitzvahs that he earned, is Nitzar L'Shon Chameira. Says Rabbi Yanai, Zois Tia Teres and Mitzvah, that this is the Torah of the Motzi Shem Ra. All of a sudden is mechadish to him that there's a whole new idea, and that's why when somebody who spoke Lashon Hara, and because Lashon Hara he got tzaras, and now he does tshuva on it, so now he's getting back his Torah. Zois Tia Teres and Mitzvah. That's why, that to answer the Chidah's question, why the Lashon of the Torah, because now you're first getting back your Torah. So what he was mechadish to Rav Yanai was this yesod, that if a person isn't careful in speaking Lashon Hara, all your mitzvahs could be lost. And unless you're going to do tshuva, you're going to end up without all your mitzvahs. And that's why he said, Kol Yamai Ha'isi. I read this, I never understood this yesod in the thing. So I just want to end off with a Maisa. This is brought down in a sefer called Amuna Shlema. This is a story. There's a guy. His name was Mordechai Zakabitsky, and he had 8 daughters that needed shidduchim, and the youngest was 19, and nothing on the table. He was quite he was quite poor. His daughters walked around in old clothing, and there was mamish nothing on the table. He went to a shir, and he heard a shir about Mida Keneged Mida. So he decided, as a schus, what he's going to do is, the next time every time he has somebody making a chasana, he's going to try to go be mesamech with them for real. And the Eibush will give him Mida Keneged Mida. He was hoping that he'll be able to have the schus to make a chasana. So his first opportunity came. His neighbor sent him a chasana invitation, and he wasn't even that close to him, but he worked on himself that he should really be mesamech for him. And he came and he gave him the warmest mazel tov, and he really didn't know anyone there. He was about to leave. He decided he's going to sit down a little bit. He's sitting at a table. He mamish knew nobody. And as he's sitting there, he hears they start talking about a very wealthy man whose name was Avramowitz. He had a big store that had closed down, and a lot of people were out of a job, and they were mamish cursing him out that how he just irresponsible, and he's this rich man, and now there's so many of their friends are out of a job, and they were going on and on and on. Now he didn't know this Avramowitz from a hole in the wall, but it bothered him to no end that there's a whole table there sitting and talking Lashon Hara, and like just knocking another Yid, it bothered him. And he was Ba'atzim a very shy guy. He never spoke up, but he got the guts together, and he started being Don Lakavskos for the guy, and he started speaking with a lot of passion and sticking up and answering them back for what they said, and left the chasana. Because it seems that, unbeknownst to anyone at the table, this Avramowitz was sitting at this table, listening to this whole conversation about himself, and he decided to find out who's this guy, and he started doing his research, and he found out that this guy has 8 daughters. He happened to have a son that was older, and the reason he had a hard time with shidduchim is because every shidduch that came, he was always choshed that they're just after his money, and it was very hard for him to find somebody. He said, this guy is a guy I want, for his son, this guy. He ended up, his oldest daughter got married to this Avramowitz's son, and he put him in business, and he became a wealthy man. It took a few years, but over a few years, all his 8 daughters got married. No, Zavada, the idea that we see is like that all the Mefarshim explain that Lashon Hara, when there's Peiros Ba'ilam Hazeh also, it's not just Ba'ilam Haba, it's for this world and for the next world, like this Medrash explains. But I just want to conclude with why all of a sudden today there's this unbelievable outbreak in being in a nisyonis in speaking Lashon Hara with all the social media, and that's because Chazal tell us that in order for Mashiach to come, this is what we have to be masaken. The bigger the nisayon is, the more you gain by holding yourself back, and the more schusim we create. So in order for us to be able to bring Mashiach, the nisyonis have to get bigger and bigger. But if you think about that bacher standing in front of Chavetz Chaim, and Chavetz Chaim is telling him, you want the next world, you want to be in my mechitzas, and you think of him as you couldn't just say you're not going to speak Lashon Hara. Be'etzem Chazal is telling every one of us, you want the next world, you want to have this world, you want to have the next world, there's one thing we have to do. So we're really in that same boat, and we should talk and be zoicha to be able to take this on, and the mitzvah will be zoicha that will bring Mashiach Me'er v'yamein.